coming on the heels of the not State of the Union, the joint address that happened last night. I know a lot of you tuned in and watched, but for those who didn't, we have highlights from President Trump's historic speech. But I want to first set up and show you the positive side of this. This should be the moment everyone cheers for. This should be the moment that no one can find political dissidents in, but of course they do. So first, I'm going to play you President Trump and his statement and his the little conversation he has, I guess you'd say, with a kid in the audience.
2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago. Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer, actually a number of times. The police love him, the police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
Beautiful and fun and memorable moment. But Nicolle Wallace on MSNBC just shortly after, within hours, if not even within minutes of this speech ending, had this to say.
And I hope he has a long life as a law enforcement officer. But I hope he never has to defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump's supporters. And if he does, I hope he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. And I hope he isn't one who has to testify against the people who carried out acts of seditious conspiracy and then lived to see Donald Trump pardon those people.
I don't say this lightly. This was a truly disgusting moment coming from MSNBC. Taking this real sweet moment, one of the few non-political moments that maybe happened that night. And look, I'd say President Trump, it's not like he even specifically said, I realize that I'm not going to win over Democrats in this. They're not going to cheer me even for something like this. And you could see very few stood up, very few even cheered for DJ. However, Nicolle Wallace goes on, and she not only wants to make a spectacle out of it and bring herself into it, says that, yeah, though she hopes he lives, of course, she hopes he lives a long life, she also hopes that he isn't one of the ones who ends up committing suicide due to President Trump's supporters storming the Capitol. This is, again, a kid who had 5 months to live and has beaten those odds. But, of course, you have MSNBC, which, again, I've said is really a vile part of the Universal Xfinity NBC platform. It makes no sense why it is in their portfolio, why you would even have this incredibly disturbing leftist group. It's not just a left-leaning network. It's not even CNN. It is getting to the point where you can't even have humanity for a small child, a 13-year-old child who has fought and beat brain cancer over and over again, who's still fighting, who has then been deputized because he just wants to be a police officer when he grows up, and then President Trump does a fun moment and lets him become a Secret Service. You could see the emotion on his face. We also can play a clip even from him so you could hear from him himself. We could play that a little bit later so you know that this is not disingenuous. This is the real deal. But of course, because it's coming from President Trump, not only does that have to be bad, you have to just start praying that this little boy doesn't grow up to have to kill himself because of mental health problems after President, of course, it's all some weird theoretical because clearly when he becomes an adult, there is no President Trump. There are no those situations. But I want you to hear from him. I want you to hear from DJ Daniel, this kid. You saw him last night, but maybe you didn't see. They had interviewed him before and let him make a statement that they released. And I think this should at least give you a sense of who the left is targeting here. Here's DJ.
You want to know the craziest part? Because my mom bathes me and my brothers all together, and out of nowhere I locked up, and then my dad was calling my name, and I started going to the slow thing, and he said stop playing with me, and I started to act, I ain't gonna lie, I started to act slow, and then as soon as he said that, we were speeding all the way, running lights, going to the hospital, and then next thing you know I was seizing on the table. They said nah, we gonna have to go in his brain tonight. Ever since then, I had 13 brain surgeries, and that's how many times my personality has changed. And that's something that you don't hear from a terminally ill child. They had 5 months to live. I'm gonna keep on going until my gas tanks run out. And that's when God calls you home. You never know when God's gonna call you home. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my dad. And I know he's pretty proud of me, and I'm pretty proud of him too. And I'd like to thank President Trump, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today.
And probably that last sentence was enough to make sure that the left media decided we have to disqualify DJ Daniel. He can't be someone that we all look up to, find a positive moment out of. We have to politicize it, and we have to take a beautiful moment and decide to not only politicize it, but really make it into a disgusting spectacle.
Don't let the left tell you that it is conservatives and Trump supporters that are dividing this country. Because when you see after a beautiful moment, and every president does those, every president during a joint address to Congress or a speech before them, whether it be the State of the Union or otherwise, brings guests and highlights them. And many times it goes along with policies that they also want to support. And you know what the policy was here? They believe that this child's cancer was started from exposure to toxins. And he then went on to say is that we are going to look at getting these toxins out of our environment so that we can combat childhood cancer from exposure to things that cause that. And then the left decides that now it's fair game because President Trump brought him up there and did a beautiful moment. It's despicable. Like it shocks your soul when you see that people are so heartless, so deranged against President Trump that they could have just left it alone. They didn't have to say anything about the moment.
We are so excited to announce the ACLJ's brand new app, completely redesigned to provide you with the best tools available to partner with us at the ACLJ. You can watch the daily Secular program, sign the petitions, customize your ACLJ membership experience, donate with the click of a button, and receive up-to-the-minute critical updates that the mainstream media can't censor. Just scan the QR code on your screen or go to your phone's app store, search ACLJ, and click install. It's that simple.